to today's session. It's an absolute honor and pleasure that alumni like you can join and can connect with our students. Your experience, as I already mentioned to you, it's going to be really valuable for the students in the tough times today. Students, might find themselves in situations where, they might need directions. So if they experience, if they can understand the journey that you all have gone through, I'm sure they will be motivated. So with this note, let's start the session. I would request Dr. Inamdar sir to welcome you because I'm sure you are really close to his heart, and it's an honor and pleasure to have you here. Inamdar sir, would you like to welcome them?
No. My heart always keeps on remembering, and it is such a big pleasure for any teacher to see these guys. I remember both of them very, very closely. Naman was admitted through Mr. Naidu, my classmate, and it was really a very different journey. It is always a pride to see you guys growing. And, so wholeheartedly, I welcome you. It's not my time, I know it's your time. So I speak less, but I just want to communicate that, we all are very happy seeing you and keep in touch. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now for the students, I would formally welcome Chinmay, and because I've already handed the host credentials to him, so I shall ask him to start the session. Chinmay Phadnis, as you know, is an alumni of Vishwaniketan, and he has made us really proud. He works as an analyst for data consultancy, develops forecast models for global clients, and he is currently pursuing MBA in finance. So again, this is for students. See, again, there is a diversification where engineers can actually find opportunities. So let's understand more from Chinmay, his journey, and how his journey can actually motivate you. Welcome, Chinmay.
Sure.
You can start the session.
Thank you so much, madam. Welcome to all. Good morning to all, and hope you are all are staying safe and staying healthy. Please, as soon as the vaccination opens up, please take the vaccination. And Maharashtra Dinacha Hardik Shubhecha, since it's 1st May. So welcome to all. I am Chinmay Phadnis. I was already told. I am from the 2018 EXTC batch. I have done my MBA from Symbiosis Center for Management and Human Resource Development. Actually, it's not done. Our final exam got postponed to June. So that's left. But I've been working in a company called Aspect Ratio, which is a data consultancy company. Which, what does that mean? It means that we use data to generate insights and help the client make better decisions. So I am in the forecasting department. So it's my job to forecast the revenue of my company, a particular product, competitor companies, specific geographies all over the world, and so on. Between my engineering and MBA, I very briefly worked for a software development company, very briefly, meaning just for 2 weeks, because as soon as my job started, my MBA call-up came up and then I had to quit. So I won't really be able to offer much help there. I think Naman is the expert in that. So before I start, I would just, since we are talking here, I would just like to know about the level of clarity that you have regarding, I'm talking to the 3rd and 4th year students, of course. I would like to know about the clarity that you have regarding your futures, because I am barely 3 or 4 years older than you. So I might not be able to offer a lot when it comes. I may not have achieved a lot, but the experiences which I have gained in these 3-4 years, I'm just putting it on the table for y'all. So let's just conduct a quick exercise. Can you all see the reactions button on the bottom right of your screen? There's a smiley, small smiley, and there's a reactions button, right? There's a thumbs up reaction there. Can you just please thumbs up for me once? So just click on thumbs up for me once. Okay. So you're all pretty attentive then. Okay. Okay, great. So I'll be asking a question. If you feel the answer is yes, I want you to reply with that thumbs up. If you feel the answer is no, then don't respond. Okay. And don't worry, it's not an objective question. There's no right or wrong answer here. Just one question, and that is, how many of y'all are fairly confident with your professional life 5 years from now? Okay, so you are 21, 22 years old, right? So when your 27th birthday comes up, how far can you predict this is what I'll be doing in my on my 27th birthday? Maybe not exactly, but roughly this is where I'll be. How many of y'all feel comfortable with that? Let me check. Okay, 1, 2, and one of them is Neha. So Neha doesn't count because she is not third or fourth year. So okay. So the reason why I'm not surprised is because I was exactly like you, and I'm pretty sure Naman, Neha, and Pranav, all the three of them can vouch for that, even regarding themselves. It's because we have, as of now, lived in a very protective environment, even in your engineering. And there's a sudden jump between when you clear your engineering and when you start working, right? You have to learn a lot of things on the job, and frankly, that learning is something that we had to go through. So that's why I have planned something which might help you be better prepared than what we were when we passed out of engineering. Though we were also, I mean, also had our own sets of counselors. So before that, I'll just tell you about myself. I mean, I already mentioned. Why did I take MBA in finance? Because my final year project was stock prediction using deep learning algorithms. So stock prediction came in. So we predicted the stocks of Alphabet Inc., which is the parent company of Google. And deep learning came in, which is, I mean, I was very interested in that. So in fact, I wanted to go for MS, but we'll talk about that as well. And that's why I was completely blown away by the world of finance. I took MBA in finance, and now I am where I am. So if you have any questions related to MBA as well, I'm happy to take those up. But before that, I'll just go over the journey of a typical engineering pass out. And in that story, I will weave my story as well. So I'm sharing my screen now. Please tell me if you can see the screen.
We can.
Okay, great. I'll just try the slideshow. Okay, perfect. So this is where you are now. You're in third or fourth year. This year or next year, you'll be clearing your engineering. From engineering, I have seen two major paths or directions which people take. There is also a third wildcard, which we'll come to later. But the two things which I have seen people do are they either take a job that is through their engineering itself, either through campus placement or from outside, and they go for further studies. These are the only two things. Like I said, there's a third wildcard, which one of the people who've chosen that choice is in the call. He's already given the call, but okay, so these are the two major. Of course, this is also a valid option. You can work for some time and then go back to your higher studies. But this option, I have heard from many people, is slightly difficult to motivate yourself to do. Once you started working, मतलब एक बार काम करना शुरू कर दिया तो वापस पढ़ाई में आना थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है. I've got a couple of people who have given me that example, but that's not necessarily true for everyone. If you feel you are motivated, then by all means, go ahead. With regards to further studies, I would just like to give you a bit of clarity on four aspects which four different directions which engineers take. I will go by them one by one. I'll explain the pros and cons. And if you want to go on that path, what is it that you need to prepare for right now? That's what we'll be talking about. So the first option is ME, which Masters in Engineering, which I've seen is the most common option in Vishwaniketan. At least that was in my time. Apart from job, the people who were appearing for further studies, at least in my class, a lot of them wanted to appear for the GATE exam, which is what you give. So GATE is basically an exam which allows you, it also helps you apply for jobs and for the masters. Now, it is a slightly technical exam. There is, of course, aptitude here, but if you want to give your GATE exam and score well in this, you need to be absolutely thorough with your core branch. So if you are from mechanical, you need to be absolutely, you need to know mechanical engineering in and out to score very well in this. The pros of this are there are a lot of options even after ME. You can get into teaching or you can pursue PhD. ME is slightly different from your Bachelor of Engineering in that there's no broad branch. So let's say there's no computers. You might have cybersecurity as a specific branch. So your scope will reduce, but your depth will increase. So you can, and same for PhD, you can like further delve into one particular part of your further education, which can help you. Second is MS. The reason I've put these two separately is because I feel the approaches to both of them are different. ME ke liye you need much more technical knowledge. MS ke liye there are a number of exams. I'll be using the GRE as a benchmark. Why? Because I have also given GRE. And GRE practically includes English and quant. So those are the two only, aptitude basically. Those are the only two things which are tested. It's very easy, in my opinion, comparatively easier than the other exams to clear the GRE exam. I myself studied for a couple of months and I got 327. The problem was I wanted to go for my master's in machine learning, like I told you, but my graduation was in electronics and telecommunications. So I could not really switch. And I talked to a couple of counselors and they told me that if I wanted to switch from electronics to computers, I would not be able to get into the top 30 colleges in the world or in US. And I probably would have to take an extra semester. So these two, ME and MS, are if you like what you're doing or what you're studying right now, and if you want to go ahead, these are the two options. So now that MS did not work out for me, I took the third option, MBA. Now, there's a very negative connotation about MBA in engineering colleges in general. I'm not saying in Viswaniketan, in general. Like there's even in pop culture, like I'm sure you must have heard the dialogue that engineering ki MBA kiya fir America jaake bank mein naukri kar raha hai. That's a very common jibe that people, my friends also give me, but don't look at it that way. It's a very valid career choice. You can actually excel in that. There are many successful people who've done their engineering, done their MBA and went on to do great things. So for this, the only thing is it is stupidly competitive. It's very ridiculously competitive. I'm not sugarcoating things here. I'm just laying it out as it is. Like I know because I've given a lot of entrance tests, and in a couple of entrance tests for my dream colleges, I scored 99 plus percentile. I was in the top 1% and still I was not accepted by that institute because my profile was not good enough or my further rounds were not good enough. So that was a problem. Like in MS, I'm sure you must know that in MS, your GRE score alone is not enough, right? You need to have a good profile as well. You need to have, they look at your 10, 12 graduation marks, they look at your statement of purpose, they look at your letter of recommendations and so on. Similarly for MBA, your overall profile matters and there are further rounds as well. So fortunately I got into SCMHRD, which is a good institute in itself. Not the best, but decent. And I am pretty happy with my MBA. And the final, I don't know if you can see the option or not, but it's UPSC. I've just put that in because I've got a number of my friends who are appearing for UPSC. It's not further studies really, it's just an exam, but you have to put some time aside to study for it. So that's why I've put it here. Out of these four, I feel MS is comparatively more structured or more easy to approach. Because MBA, I know you've got to give a lot of entrance tests and you've got to be prepared for everything. UPSC, like there are 3,000 vacancies, if that, and everything else. There are lakhs of people applying, so you can't really control that. And ME, also, if you got to get into the premier institutes, you got to score well. So I'm not scaring you, but I'm just preparing you. You need to like, how can I say? You need to like take control of your future. I've seen many people who just take a job through the campus and they don't really try to grow from that point. So even if, I'm not saying that you should go for further studies, even in job, you can grow equally, but then you need to take an active stance in that as well. And the third thing, which I did not talk about as of yet, is entrepreneurship. It's like the Sone ki chidiya, basically. It's very high risk, but very high reward. If you feel like you have it in you, I feel Naman नमन ने बताया था मुझे. He was just talking about 3 things which you need to be a successful entrepreneur, which is knowledge, skill, and attitude, right? With the attitude part being the most important. So again, it's very high risk, high reward. Job में कैसा है? If you perform badly one day, it's okay. Entrepreneurship में you are responsible for a lot of people. So if you feel like you've not seen the wide world as of yet, don't immediately jump in. Have a plan. Have some sort of plan. And you can always come back to entrepreneurship after all of these. Let's say even if you are working for some time, you can come back. Doesn't matter. But my only advice would be just dip your toes in first before diving into the lake. Okay. Now of course Pranav would probably disagree with me, because he will say, and with good reason, because he'll say that I have made it successfully here. So this is just my opinion. You can probably take his opinion as well later. But these are the basic things which people do after engineering. Of course, there are more, and I would like to take questions on some offbeat career choices as well, if you have any, or even among these, if you have. That's all from my side. I mean, I won't like delve too much into my history, because okay, Vishwaniketan's history. I mean, I have practically seen Vishwaniketan grow up, because as was the second batch that came in. So I'll just stop sharing so that you can see my screen. So so basically, Vishwaniketan was just growing when I had started. So I have seen it grow. I have seen the vision. I mean, that was never really a problem when I was here. I always found people who were willing to take up very challenging tasks. I was always able to find teachers and other faculty who were willing to support us in those. And what I was amazed was the farsightedness that the management, especially Inamdar sir, had. That Vishwaniketan by itself would not have been able to really grow unless the students themselves were growing. So they did everything in their power to make sure the students had the maximum resources to be able to apply whatever they did. And one request which I would like you to have is we've got like 70 people, right? Let's do one more exercise. How many of y'all have your LinkedIn profiles? Have a curated LinkedIn profiles? Just give me a thumbs up. Like you worked on your LinkedIn profile. It's ready. You can send it over to people. Okay, I'm seeing a few. Okay, I'm seeing like 5 or 6. Okay. Okay, if you take something out of this video, just take that. Okay, please create a LinkedIn profile and send connection requests to everyone from Vishwaniketan. Okay, MBA में जाके और कुछ सीखा ना सीखा, ये तो जरूर सीखा हूँ मैं कि alum network is extremely important. I mean, you've got like 300 people roughly graduating from your batch. मैं 4 साल का नहीं बोल रहा, just one batch senior, one batch junior, 300 senior wale, 300 junior wale, that is 900 people who you can instantly connect to. And abhi Fortune 500 mein kitni companies hai? 500, right? So what's the probability that these 900 people will probably end up somewhere around there at some point, right? So please make sure that you have a very robust alum network. The biggest strength of any institute is its alum network. मेरी प्रोफाइल ढूंढो चाहिए तो LinkedIn पे नमन की ढूंढो, बाकी लोगों की ढूंढो, and just send them connection requests. Because I'll tell you how it helps. So let's say if you want to get into TCS at some point, what you can do is you can go to LinkedIn, you can check how many of Vishwaniketan alums are in TCS right now. You can personally message them. I am so and so from so and so batch. I am interested in this profile. Could you please forward my application to the HR? That helps. Frankly, that is the biggest help that you can get to get a job. I mean, you can of course use portals, but those, I mean, many of them are paid. This is like a free outreach which you get through LinkedIn, and also a lot of opportunities coming through there. So don't ignore that. Please make sure that you make a LinkedIn profile aaj hi bana do, and send it over to all the Vishwaniketan alums you can find. Send it to your professors as well if they have LinkedIn profiles, and just make sure that our group is very tightly knit. Basically, we are there for each other, right? So on that note, I'd just end my my talk here. If there are any questions, I'm happy to take them.
Thank you, Chinmay. Yes, students, please ask him questions, so you can put them on the chat.
I mean, it's not compulsory to ask questions. हाँ, मतलब वैसा नहीं होगा तो भी कोई problem नहीं. You can probably, I mean, we can talk in private as well. If you want to like message me, LinkedIn पे message कर दो. We can chat about that. Or if you have any doubts regarding what I would like to do once I am out of my engineering, or what I should do, or what are the pitfalls of various career options. ये थोड़ा मैं वो रास्ते से गुजरा हूँ, तो I have already suffered the bumps a couple of times, so I might be able to help you.
Chinmay, one question from me, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
So the question is, how did you keep yourself motivated, when times were not working the way you wanted them to work? So
Yeah, well, I mean, it's now I can talk about all of the great things that I did and how I was able to like stay afloat and stuff. But that's really not true. I mean, everyone suffers from a downside. It doesn't. I mean, if you are thinking that if you get a job, let's say, your life will suddenly become all rosy, that does not happen. You suffer setbacks continuously. Even, I mean, I got got an admission in my MBA college. I was so delighted. 3 or 4 days into the course, I got a harsh slap of reality, because उधर मतलब सांस लेने का time नहीं था. I'm sure Dhairya has been here, right? He's talked about what MBA life is like. हमारे यहाँ पे भी वैसे ही था. It was, I mean, I was brought back to reality again. So summer placements के time पे भी COVID हो गया, तो our summer placements were in jeopardy. Even our final placements were slightly delayed. But I guess having a group of friends who share your plight is very important, who are going through the same things that you are. अकेले शायद सफर करना, मतलब you need a brain of steel or a heart of gold to be able to suffer through that alone. But if you have friends, it makes the burden easier, and it also helps you like keep in touch. Let's say out of a group of 6 people, if one of them is working hard, the other 5 are motivated to work hard as well. So probably that is one. Second is physical exercise. That is, I mean, physical exercise releases endorphins, or I mean, I'm not sure which exact hormone it is, but some a hormone which stimulates happiness, basically stimulates good feelings. So make sure you have some physical exercise at this point, and that also helps you stay in routine. So सुबह को जब भी उठो, थोड़ा सा exercise कर लो, meditation कर लो. That's on the surface, but below you have to basically keep a very strong core, and basically be aware that this is a temporary phase. This will pass. When we have gone, the country as a whole or the world as a whole has gone through much worse phases. This is still temporary. थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा, शायद कम सैलरी का जॉब लेना पड़ेगा, या फिर थोड़ा जॉब मिलने में थोड़ा डिले होगा. बट that doesn't mean that we are not good enough. Okay, we are always have faith in yourself. If you even for a second waver from that, then all of your motivation just goes down. So always believe in yourself. अपने आप पे भरोसा रखो, जो भी हो. Be your own friend, basically. Don't fight against yourself कि मुझसे ये नहीं हो रहा, वो नहीं हो रहा. Just be your own friend. That's it. Okay, I'm getting a couple of, yeah. So Pranav, I said, okay, thanks Pranav. Oh, thanks Shashank. Okay, yeah. Ashish has a question. Do you feel taking admission in MBA was a good decision or not? Okay, I have a slightly, I mean, it probably won't apply to me as such, because I was very determined to go to MBA from my 4th year onwards. Like I told you, that in my final year project, I was blown by the world of finance. So I had to take an MBA, and I took it. Post MBA, I have seen that I react to situations much better. I have become much calmer. I have become much more able to understand situations. I have been able to deal with pressure. And the thing with any masters, be it MS, MBA, ME, or anything, is that you deal with bigger things. Engineering के बाद जो job मिलता है, you are, I mean, no matter how good you are, you have to start small, right? And gradually build up to bigger and bigger things. But MBA के बाद you immediately go to dealing with billion dollar clients and just millions of dollars of deals. And you have to basically, if you screw up, it's a bigger responsibility for you. So if you screw up, then it impacts you in an adverse way much better. So I have gotten older, yes, but my growth, my emotional growth has been accelerated by these 2 years. So of course, मतलब मुझे finance में जाना ही था, so I went in that. So I don't think that really applies here. But apart from that, the emotional maturity which I got studying with people who came from all across the country, and frankly, इतना easy नहीं होता MBA में आना. तो फिर जो आए हैं वो they are very determined to get something done. So just being with them was one experience which I would definitely want to share. If I could share that experience, that would be great. But itna kuch sikha ho na, it's impossible to kind of compress that in 10-20 minutes. Point is, MBA के बाद मेरे electronics के कुछ subjects useful नहीं थे. Okay, so whatever I've learned in my electronics, I'm not directly applying that in my job. So if you feel like you like what you're doing, then don't go for MBA. Then go for MS or ME. If you feel like there is something else which you would like to add to your knowledge repertoire or you would like to work on, then I feel MBA makes sense. Okay, Pradiksha has a question: how reading is and how to approach a business idea. Okay, so one of my professors in my MBA, Professor Sunit Joshi, he gave us a very good Kan mantra, you can say. A very good secret is read all newspapers, front to back. And which type of newspapers? Financial newspapers. Okay, it doesn't, financial newspapers में सिर्फ finance की चीजें नहीं होती. Finance के newspapers में you have all the happenings in the industry. If a company is taking over another company, if a company is offloading some assets, if a company is registering for an IPO, if there is a scandal in a company, if the quarter results of a company are good, all of those things are in finance newspapers. So finance newspapers like the Mint, Financial Times, and stuff like the Business Standard. ये 3-4 papers है, just read those. Apart from that, I don't think there is any specific reading which you can do to prepare yourself for anything. I mean, let's say कुछ ऐसा, it's not, being aware of the world is not really a function of how many books you've read, I think. It's just a function of how many current events you're aware of, right? So newspaper is the best part. How to approach a business idea. Again, I think Pranav might be, or Naman also has worked for God, so he also might be able to help you much better. Based on what I know, well, there are 5. There's a concept called design thinking. Okay, design thinking. It's a very specific concept. If you have the time, please go back and read about design thinking. There are 5 steps to design thinking, but that is after you've got the idea. So how to approach a business idea? I am looking at it from the point of view कि तुम्हारे पास idea है, and now you're looking to implement that. If you're looking to generate ideas, तो empathy mapping करके एक चीज होती है. Empathy mapping is basically you go out and you try to find out what is lacking in people's lives. For instance, let's say high-speed communication or pandemic में virtual connection was what was lacking. So platforms like Zoom or Google Meet immediately jumped onto that and captured that, right? So you go out, you try to find out what is lacking. Can you build a product on it, and can you monetize that product? So what is lacking? Let's say, I want precision calculations of the dimensions of a particular equipment. So can I make a product for that? If yes, then can I monetize it? Can I sell it to enough people to make money out of it? Those are the only things that you can, those are the only things that you can start with. But it's an endless process. I'm sure Naman will be able to tell you more in detail because he's been through the stages of, many stages of startups, from infancy to decent growth in terms of time. So from my side, these are the only things. Please look up design thinking whenever you can. Yeah, thanks. That's all, then thank you all for your time. Hope to looking forward to interact with you. 70 participants है, उसमें से 5-6 teachers छोड़ दिए, तो I am expecting 60 to 65 LinkedIn requests as well. And thank you so much.
Chinmay?
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember we had a seminar session in I was in first year, and when you mentioned this design thinking, we had a seminar and we had a speaker who did mention like most of the thinking of or like ideas come out of the room and out of the box. And I mean, can't have ideas in the room, engineering ideas.
Right. Right. That's true.
Because
That's true. That's true. So that's why I gave you the caveat that design thinking only applies if you already have the idea. Getting an idea is frankly the most tough part of any business, because you need an idea to be so unique that you can continuously monetize that and build a business, then an industry out of it, basically. So those are, I mean, that's why you've got professional people whose only job is to just look for these ideas. So you got a lot of companies who just pay people for innovation. That's it. That's all that they do. It's not so simple. You've got to practice a lot. But design thinking helps you structure that idea. Basically, you have an idea, you structure that to get into a phase wherein you can start taking concrete actions on it. Right? That's it. So just a second. I've got, yeah. So Vriksh asks, how important do you think an institute is for an MBA? It's very important. Okay, I'm not sure if I've mentioned enough as of now, but institute is very important no matter what masters you take. Just don't jump into any random institute. Of course, two things matter. One is what specialization you want to do it on, and second is what institute you would like to do it at. MBA institutes, I would say there are 20 to 30 good institutes in India, okay, which of course includes all the IIMs, a couple of Symbiosis colleges, a couple of other institutes. Those institutes are like the top institutes. If you want to get, sorry, my internet connection is unstable. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, sorry. So yeah, so those 20 to 30 institutes are good. If you want to get into those, give the appropriate exams. Okay, so you've got CAT, which is Common Aptitude Test for IIMs. You've got XAT, that is that for XLRI and institutes like that. You've got SNAP, which is Symbiosis exam for SIBM, SEM, HID, stuff like that. You've got NMAT for NM. You've got a bunch of other exams, but these are the primary exams. If you don't get into these institutes, then you need to rethink. I mean, it's completely fine to continue working and try again the next year. Okay, so in fact, MBA institutes encourage WorkX. So if you have WorkX, you can definitely have an advantage, but try to aim for these 20 to 25 institutes. In case you're going for MBA, try to aim for these institutes.
Chinmay.
Thank you, Chinmay.
Yeah,
Madam.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Hello, sir.
Madam. Chinmay.
Hello, sir.
Yes, welcome to you after long back.
Thank you, sir. I was planning to come to Mumbai this summer, but given the pandemic, I am not able to. I would have definitely visited the institute if I was there.
Yes. Chinmay, one simple question from my side.
Sure.
Right from first year, I used to observe you.
Right.
You know, so your personality is a little bit different than others.
Right.
Compared to the same age. I always feel that you are little bit more mature, and your dad's role was very different. You to set your career, very sensitive.
Right.
I know at the time of admission and everything. So the way your dad put his guidance or suggestions to us and help us a lot. And at the same time, I have been observing that you have a large network of friends, and
Yes.
you always used to connect anyone very easily. So what was the secret behind this? So do you have same friends now in professional life also? Same network? Chinmay, am I audible?
Yeah, sir, you're audible now. Sorry, I just didn't catch a bit of it. Yeah.
Yes. You had good network at
So,
the time.
yeah, definitely, sir.
Friends network.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. I have considered that a priority. Even in my MBA, I have tried to make friends with as many people as possible, just so that I can increase my exposure to a lot of different chains of thinking, basically lines of thinking rather. So that's all. If you remember, sir, my father and I had come to take admission in Vishwaniketan. It was a very rainy day, and the road ahead of the college was absolutely like it was not. I mean, it was
Yes,
very
yes.
bumpy. So I remember coming to the college, and before I had stepped in, I had said, "Arey, kahan college hai? Kya matlab hai?" And then when I came in, I talked to you and I talked to Inamdar sir, and I admission leke gaye the wahan se.
Yes, yes. I
We
know.
had completed the admission and then gone. So thank you so much for guiding us, both of them, Patil sir and Nanda sir. Thank you so much for guiding us. A lot of the credit for how we are able to think right now goes to you and the management for making it so that we could do that. We could be able to do that.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chinmay. Chinmay, the question answer session and the interaction will go on.
Yeah.
So I think we'll just allow Naman to pitch in
Sure.
so that he can share his experiences, and then both of you can, take the interactive session ahead.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Thank you, Chinmay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So students, now I invite Naman Vashisht, and a very proud alumni of Vishwaniketan. He currently is a software developer in UPaper EduTech. He has more than 2.5 years of experience in working with startups, and he's proficient in software. So I think technologies, he will be the right person to tell you about that. Now, I'll just share an incident which we had recently with Naman. And in the invite, I had mentioned that he's an entrepreneur. And he immediately replied to me that, "Ma'am, please do not mention entrepreneur, because I am working with startups and I am not an entrepreneur." But I would still like to mention that, Naman, even when you go ahead and support other entrepreneurs, you may not be showcasing yourself as an entrepreneur, but definitely, you are a king maker. You may not be the king, but you're the king maker, which itself makes you an entrepreneur. That is what I believe in. Your role is truly critical to the startup. And when in the startup phase, it is very difficult in the market that people will come forward and believe in you. And at that time, if you are ready to support these startups, you become an entrepreneur yourself. But that's my thought. So I would really like to welcome you. And on this note, I would like you to take over. And do you want to present something or?
No, I'll just.
Okay. Yes, Naman. Please go ahead, Naman. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. And thank you, Chinmay, for your presentation. Means that was the most MBA thing, presenting with a PowerPoint. But the session that you took actually was very important because you shared your experience and you shared others' experience as well, that how to approach the things after the college. So I'll start with my session. So my name is Naman Vashisht, and I work as a software developer in UFaber EduTech. So basically, what I do is maintain their website and install new modules or work on new modules on their website. So basically, I'm a web developer, and we work in Django framework, which is a Python framework for web development. So I will start my session with how I was inspired to be a web developer, because I am an electronics and telecommunication engineer. So by that definition, I won't be able to fit in software industry, right? But VAPs in the college helped me a lot. I remember very clearly that there was a VAP for electronics, and there was some other VAPs going on for some other branches also. So there was a VAP for computer branch in machine learning. So I asked our HOD at that time that can I opt out from the VAP of EXTC and go in the WAP of computer. So that support and that response, I still remember that the response was, you can do whatever you want and you can choose whatever WAP you want. Not even means if you want to go and do the mechanicals WAP, that's also fine. So that thing that that scope was the first stepping stone for me. And Neha was with me at that time. We both were from non-computer branch to do that WAP. So that was the first thing that got me into programming. But I want to tell you one more thing about WAP. See, WAP is just a 1 week program. So don't consider it as a thing that you will, keep with you forever. Think of it like a motivational speech, right? It will tell you what to do, it will tell you how to do, but just to be industry ready, you have to put in your effort. So I'm not saying that because of that 1 week of WAP, I am a web developer now. No, not at all. That was just the first step to tell me that, okay, this thing also exists in the market, or this thing is also there in the world. And exploring that was totally on me. So keep this in mind every time you go into a WAP, that they will not, कुछ जादू नहीं करेंगे वो लोग. It consider it as a motivational speech, and if you like it, you have to push it forward. Okay. Now after that, after WAP, I started doing programming myself also, and then I joined God. So at that time I wasn't, there for the God itself. The project was different, but eventually, I don't know, somehow I got into God. So till now I have worked in 3 startups. Okay, I'm working in 3rd startup. And when I was in God, I think it was in September or October that when I joined the God, and the March of next year was the launch of God. So I was there before the God was launched. So let's consider that as stage 1. And then the second startup that I got into was 2.5, 3 years old startup. And the startup that I'm working now is 6, 7 years old startup. So I'll tell you what is the common thing that I observed in all these startups, and what are the different things that I observed in these startups. And I feel lucky that I have seen these many stages of a startup in such a small period of time. So in a fairly new startup, let's say you start a company with your friends or someone who you know, the major problem is who will be the authority, or who will be above you, who will you report to. Because believe it or not, that is really very important. Because we think that, okay, I have my own startup, so I am my own boss. But being your own boss is the most difficult thing, because you cannot be lenient and harsh on yourself at the same time. The employee in you would not want to work, and the boss in you would want you to work. And those two things cannot happen in the same time, right? So this was the thing that fairly new startups face. But so there should be a person that is a higher authority whom you report to. Now coming to the stage 2 startup, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year old startup, there I had my boss, I had my senior, but the problem was they were unable to get most out of their employees. So let's say there was a task. So the task was given to me. I completed in 2-3 days, and then for 1-2 days I was just free. I didn't get any work because there was work, but people were unable to distribute it amongst the employees. So this is also a very common problem. The most of the startups see the problem when they approach them, when the problems just look them in the eyes. So far-sightedness is very important, and Pranav will might agree with me in on this, that far-sightedness is very important. That 2 years, 3 years down the line, also what are the problems that you will face? You have to think and work on it. And then coming to the 6-7 year old startup, so 6-7 year old startup has a higher authority. 6-7 year old startup is far-sighted, but there the problem occurs in workload distribution. So there are 5 employees. One of them will be doing more work. Other will be doing one of them will be doing some less work. So that workload distribution, that's well totally upon the manager and the higher authorities. But I am telling you all this considering that you are that higher authority or you are that manager. So these are the three things that I have observed. And if you look at it, if you look at these three things are totally related to managing people. And that is the most important thing that uh, any company face. Now, let's come to the IT industry where I work in. So the other day I was reading an article in Economic Times about how the IT sector has boomed in this pandemic. So one or two sentences that I have read from there, I'll tell you that now the people who are getting the IT jobs now are holding 4 to 5 offers at the same time, and experienced people are getting minimum 60 to 70% hike from their previous job, and which is a really good thing. Means in this time of pandemic, companies like TCS, Wipro, all of them have shown a greater graph in terms of employment. So why I'm telling you this is because if the hirings are more, then you can easily assume that competition is also more. So preparing yourself for a job is something different than you learn in your college. And for the computer students, please concentrate on data structures and algorithms. And I'm talking in terms of IT jobs only because that's what I do. So that's what I can tell you about. Data structures and algorithms are the most important thing. So concentrate on that if you want to enter in IT. And as Chinmay said about the the connections on LinkedIn, those are very important. So I switched to this third job recently. So before that, when I was applying, I I don't even remember how many jobs I have applied in a single day. Means, and one of my friends who was also applying at that time, from that friend, I came to know that there was a limit on Naukri.com on how many jobs you can apply in a single day, and that limit is really high, really high. So the reason I'm telling you this is you don't be overconfident. You don't be overconfident that okay, I did this project, I did that project, so I can get the job easily. So I will apply. I will just cherry pick 2, 3, 4 companies and just apply in them and wait for their response. That will rarely happen. Rarely, very rarely. And as Chinmay just told us about the connections, so consider your connections as a VIP service or free. That if you want to get into some company, let it be any company. If the employee is recommending you, then that is the greatest thing that can happen to you, because landing an interview is the first thing that is difficult, and then clearing it's a whole different story. So build a connection, build your LinkedIn profile, and just keep an eye on everyone, that okay, this guy is working there, this guy is working here, and just, you know, instead of scrolling on social media, just scroll on LinkedIn once or twice. There are also entertaining posts, but they are what you say, knowledgeable also. I would like to conclude my talk. See, I don't have much to talk about. Okay, I just wanted to share my experience. So I would like to the other day, the last night, Chinmay and I were talking, and the other day Neha and I was talking that we should, you know, give back to our college community, because the college has done so much for us, and as Chinmay said that we were the second batch of the college, so actually we have seen the college grow before our eyes. Means we have seen that okay, we know the infrastructure, we saw the infrastructure developing, we saw the management also developing. So it's time we felt that we should give back to the community. So we are starting a group on Slack. So what that group will do is, we will, the interested people can join in, okay, and we will make the projects the way projects are done in industries. Okay, we will not teach you anything, we will not you know, guide in handhold you, we will not spoon feed you. We will consider this as your employment, that you are an employee, you are working from home, and this will be your project. So this is the thing that we wanted to do. So as I can only help in web development, Neha can only help in web development, Chinmay also told me that he want to opt in so he can help in data analysis. So people interested in IT or data analysis can just feel free to join in. I will send the link of that Slack group on the chat. So if anyone is interested, just please join there. And one more thing, sorry to say, but no teacher is allowed in that group. We will make a separate group for teachers just to showcase what we did.
That's a great thing. You know, the idea of creating this project is great thing, and not allowing teacher is the best thing.
Yeah. See, we just want to boast. हम लोगों को बस hero बनना है. So
I know.
to become a hero, we don't want to show our pain. We just want to show the results.
That's a fantastic thing.
Good.
I really appreciate it. I really appreciate
Right. So I'll share that link on the group. Okay. And yeah, that's it from my side. If anyone has any question, feel free to ask me.
Naman, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
If you have attained certain maturity out of all these startups, have you ever thought of creating your own startup?
Actually, I have. In fact, so my uncle, he has a startup called Checkbook. That is a fintech company. Okay, so it is a really fairly well-doing startup. Means just for you to judge, the spokesperson of his company is Harsha Bhogle.
Wow.
So you can imagine that how big he has grown his startup.
Yeah.
Now, when I asked him that, and Pranav might not agree with me on this. So when I asked him about, I want to do something, I want to do this or that. So the first thing that he said is, if you want to, let's say, work in, do something in finance, you should have at least 10 years of experience in finance, or you should at least have the people who are more, means 10-20 times smarter than you in finance to work with you. Because first, the most important thing is the people who you are working with. Let's take your example, sir. You started this college, but you have a teaching experience to back you. you cannot expect us to run a college as well as you are doing. So that starting my own startup is a thing that I have always kept in my mind, but I think I have to be patient about it. Because
Yeah.
see, and one more thing is people talk about ideas, that okay, if you have unique idea, you can do this, you can do that. Means people think that to build a startup you have to have a unique idea, and I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions of a startup. Because we don't see let's take the example of Flipkart is not the only e-commerce company in the world, but they are also successful. They came after Amazon, they came after eBay, and they are also successful. The way that you build your company, the way that you manage your people, the way that you solve your people's problem, that's the key to a successful startup. Unique idea is means you would be lucky to have a unique idea first, and then you would be lucky to uh, you know work out with that unique idea. Because having a unique idea is not the holy grail of building a successful startup. We have seen the companies fail who have the unique idea. So Motorola was the first mobile company, but Motorola has changed to two owners right now, and now it is being owned by Lenovo. So we can see that some mismanagement or some bad decision can hurt a company badly, even if the company was at its pinnacle. Nokia was one of the other examples. So yeah.
I agree. Just to inform you that we have now business modeling lab of Aarhus. Kamte madam has taken charge. She has been trained in Denmark, and we are trying to put our business modeling center of excellence for creating startups. Now,
Yes.
let me put this. So it is your session, not mine, but let me just tell you my experience. Startups occur by two ways. One, the way you said it, that all right, take good sufficient experience and jump into it and do it. The second comes out of, short temperament. If I'm not using the word correctly, excuse me, but adventure. And both of them have equal chances of success. So we are trying to do is, we are trying to give anybody a business plan for 10 years. And actually, this business plan occurs without any teacher, only with the lab setup, which is conceptualized and patented by Aarhus University. So we are trying to promote that. And one more idea we have is, after these alumni talks, we'll create a board of advisory board for this business modeling center of excellence. And all 6 talks which I have attended so far, मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि 6 के 6 उस एडवाइजरी बोर्ड में होने चाहिए. यहाँ तक आप लोगों ने एक्सपीरियंस और मैच्योरिटी अचीव की है, तो मेरे लिए बहुत प्राइड है. एंड आई थिंक दिस विल ग्रो बिग वे. Your idea is really good to give projects to students that never stuck to me before. So it's a great thing. Thank you very much for your being here, and let us connect sometime. Let us connect sometime.
Sure. Yeah. Sir, I would like to just add to your what you said. So I agree. I think I have not just put it in a correct way, the experience thing, because when you say that, I have seen the lab. So, and it's I can say it's one of the best looking rooms and best, the rooms with the best environment to work in. I have seen that lab. So, so when you say that the college is providing something and you want to build an advisory board, there itself you are putting some experienced people.
True.
Right.
True.
So what I meant to say is, you cannot just tell that, okay, you have an idea, you go build a startup.
No, I'm not saying that.
Right.
Yeah. I agree. I'm not saying that. I think many times pain replaces experience.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Yes.
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 So if you're ready to take pain, you can still do it.
Right. Definitely. In fact, one of when my the owner of my second company, he told me very good thing. He told me that always fear regret. Okay,
Yes.
always fear regret. So, and one of the things that I learned from a YouTuber is just if you are confused whether to do it or not, just take a big step. From that you cannot just go back. So
Yeah.
for example, if you want to build a startup and you are working, just quit your job. Now you cannot go back.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and now the thing comes into play when that where which my sir said, that now that the fear of regret will haunt you, that
Yes.
what will means was it a correct decision or not. So always fear your regret and always take a step bigger, means much that big that you cannot go back. These are the
True.
two things that I think every entrepreneur should keep in mind.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you very much. And let the people take their time
Yes,
now.
yes. Anything if you want to ask, you can ask.
Naman,
Yes.
yeah, I want to appreciate you. I just wanted to appreciate your persistence, which you had shown through the years of your pitfall, like we had in a few years back, and you just went on working on other projects which you seemed very important and could have helped your progress. And on the other hand, I wanted to add to some of your the point of regret, like which you mentioned. Key,
Mhm.
when we have faced some setbacks, you had faced setback. Now I had, and many of us have. So there's a major statement which says, "Key, some people are very difficult to beat. They can be beaten because life is a chaos, and they practice chaos on a daily basis."
Hmm. Right.
and uh,
So,
and uh, and and this was something like when you like this, when we mention things like taking big steps and out of confusion or sometime, you have to be sure like we had practiced the skills sufficiently enough to make sure that we know the chaos which we will face further.
right. Yeah. See, uh, me telling you that take a big step, that big that you cannot go back, doesn't mean that you don't have to calculate the risk. Means that doesn't mean that I tell you that you uh, uh, invest your whole life's earning in cryptocurrency. I'm not telling you that. I'm just telling that calculate the risk, and if you feel okay, if I know I can do this, but I don't want to step out of my comfort zone, just take that step. That's what I meant by that. And then regret will come. I am 100% sure. No life of an entrepreneur is a fairy tale or a cakewalk. Means I have seen 50-year-old 60-year-old people, means at that age they were starting their own companies, and at that time also uh, they were just like you know fairly new to the thing. So all of their experience just went down the drain in terms of startup. Their domain experience definitely helped them. So at that time also they feel what you say, regret, that okay, what if my decision was wrong? Okay, what I did was right or wrong? So they took the step. Now they fear their regret, and they're just constantly working on that fear. They're converting their fear into the fuel to pump themselves every day. So that's what I meant to say. Okay, I
And
can see. Sorry. Yes, tell me.
10 days ago I committed to a job, and I feel like that is what is pushing me. Like I just announced before before a few students or batchmates ki we're gonna do this project. Join me up. I want to do this project with you all people. And right now I'm stuck here. How to proceed and all that. People are not like, you must be facing the same challenge in startup. You might have observed key many a times we have the people, we have the skills, but we do not get the motivation. Like we do not get sufficient input from our teammates or the whole group. So
Right.
do you really have any advice on how to, like if for me it's how to tackle the whole situation?
So that's where experience comes in, right? So the thing that Inamdar sir and I was talking about, that you cannot just say a person that okay, you have an idea, you have a skill, so go and build a startup. There at some point of time you need someone who has been into that domain, who has done that. So let's say you are doing a finance startup, fintech. So talk to the people who have been in this industry. Talk to them about their problems, because the one so one of the things that I feel that startups have, that they are, some companies are very late to realize their problems. Means they know that something is wrong, but they cannot pinpoint it. So involve any person who is experienced in this, and then ask him or her about your issues, or then I think your path will be much smoother if any of the experienced person is there with you. And there with you, I don't mean working with you, just for advice also. A 1 hour call with an experienced person in a week will also help you a lot. Will help you a lot.
Yeah, I have your number.
I think you should contact Pranav before me.
Like sometimes it's just okay. Like yeah, we gonna do this. We decide, and what happens key on from the like when I have some expectation, they may not be fulfilled. Like when you get some expectation, and I'm facing about talking about that challenge. Like
Right.
although we have a team, but we can't stand up to each other's expectation. I might not be feeling theirs, fulfilling theirs, and they might be not fulfilling mine.
So exactly. So everyone who was listening to me from the starting. So now, Raghavendra, what just shared is the first problem that I have shared in the infant startup. This, that no one is above other. So you don't have anyone to report to. So that's why these problems occur over time. That okay, these are the expectations, but these are not fulfilled because you don't have anyone to report. So that's why just keep one person who is not directly connected with you, but has experience, and just tell him or her that we are planning this to do in the next 2-3 weeks, and then that is also enough for you to to go forward and do the things to push yourself, because you have committed this thing to someone else, and that someone else is very important to you because he's giving his or her precious time for your company or for your startup. So yeah, means just
Yeah, thank you, man.
now Pranav is saying you are a business insider. अरे नहीं यार, मतलब not more than you. Okay, so I can see 7 people have joined the Slack group. So I think that's a good response. I expected 1 or 2 people only. So the link is active for 30 days. Anyone who want to join can join. Okay, share the link with your friends also, and there we will talk about how to distribute the projects, and you can take whatever thing you want. So and yes, one more thing. I in my last company, I was taking interviews of some interns. So there I encountered a common question, that हम लोगों को उधर सिखाओगे क्या internship? So please don't think like that. Internship is just like an employment. Intern means the company who is hiring you as an intern is expecting the same thing as they expect from their fresher joinee. The difference is just that you don't have any responsibility. Means you are not accountable for that. That's it. So getting an internship is as hard as getting a job, and preparing for an intern is your misconception about internship nowadays. Yeah, so thank you everyone, and thank you Chinmay, thank you Inamdar sir, thank you ma'am for giving me a platform to speak, because I wanted to tell all these things. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Naman. Any more questions from students? Okay. I shall ask Sunita ma'am to thank you for coming in. Sunita ma'am, please.
Yeah. Thank you,
Your thanks.
Chinmay and Naman. It was nice to see you after such a long period. We were in touch, Naman and I was once today or few, I think in the pandemic, we just discussed on one project. So we were connected, through projects. So it is nice to see you all. It reminds us the days which we have seen you grow, because so many things we could do in the department. There were so many activities we were doing in the department. And there were few students like you, even I remember Guru Raj. They were interested in doing some project, doing this. So they started that startup, I think, in third year itself. So they were good students who were working independently. I'll say, as you said, you don't want teachers. So I remember we were not there. We were just guiding you. So you did independently few projects. You were working in that lab, and that could recall those memories we always keep with you. I really strongly believe that. So thank you for being with us, sharing your experiences, and as you said, you'll be there for the students, and that is always welcome, because students learn from a fellow student more than a teacher. Teachers are there to guide, just to guide. So things is done by you. So thank you, Chinmay. Thank you,
Madam. I would like to add a few things.
Yes, sir.
Naman and Chinmay. Oh.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So just now you said about one initiative that is offering the project to our students. So I hope that that will through this initiative, our freshers students, those who are in first year, second year, or third year, they will learn a lot, because the branches, non-computer and IT branches, the students of these branches, actually they used to struggle to get the job in IT or in web development. So through these small projects, whatever you are offering through them, they came to know what they have to do in first year, second year, how they should mold to them, so that they will get the good jobs at the end of the final year. That will be great initiative. And from management side, if you need any help, please just pass to us. And second things, always this is the fourth talk, alumni talk, and day by day, it gives us the great satisfaction to see the transformation that took place in you within a short time. And at the same time, we are very happy that you are carrying the Vishwaniketan's spirit and whatever the values you learned over here. So thank you, and be in touch with us. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your words. Thank you everyone for joining, and hope you'll be coming to the college and seeing the change when you left the college. So welcome anytime you can come and meet us. So we are there for you. Thank you so much everyone for being with us. So this talks will be continued further with new alumni every week. So thank you everyone. Thank you Naman. Thank you Chinmay.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.